Clark Fountain, and Justin Maunder make up row number 1. Curtis Boyd, Liam Whelans, Shane Miller and Caleb Gilmore, row 2. Then it's Wanganui's Cameron Goldfinch, Hamish Simpson, Caleb Stroud and Luca Durning in row 3. We've got the Dowman family from Wanganui out there as well, Michael and Lucy, and finally just getting into her grid position is number 15, and that is Sarah Humphrey. This has been the introduction class to New Zealand motorcycling for the second season now. I think it's been a success. They're not the fastest thing in the world, but man, the racing is intense and it's always close.
Yeah, absolutely. And you learn a lot of good racecraft. You learn the art of slipstreaming, the art of holding your corner speed, because these things have got no real power to speak of. So if you miss a gear coming into a corner or outbrake yourself, it could cost you 4 or 5 positions as opposed to on a bigger bike where you've got some power to get away with it. But these guys here and girls as well, brilliant stuff. And we've already seen some of the graduates already go on to bigger and better things in New Zealand road racing. So absolutely thrilled to have the Suzuki Gixxer Cup back at NZSBK this year. And we've seen some great battles. Jesse Stroud, Zach Fuller and Clark Fountain with Justin Maunder in there as well. So some awesome little battles as they all look at the pack of them go through Kev's Carousel and up towards Swampies. Absolutely brilliant stuff to see.
Yeah, and if you're having a look at these machines for the first time, they're essentially brand spanking new Suzuki GSX 150s. They have a race pack on them, which is essentially a titanium muffler on the exhaust. Along with your $6,000 investment to go racing, you get a brand new set of Alpine Stars leathers, you get Alpine Stars boots, you get gloves and you get a helmet. It all comes in one package. And if you've seen Formula First racing, or Formula V as it used to be known, and your favourite riders sitting back in about 6th place, don't worry, because by the end of the race he could quite easily win it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how close it'll be here today.
Yeah, and it's all about the slipstream. You'll see down that big back straight, you could change the lead and then get it back again. There'll be a double slipstream up for grabs there, because these things are just lacking the horsepower. So look at that drive. Zach Fuller gets out of the Porsche dipper and he'll tuck in behind. But not only do you want to make sure you're up the front pack, but you just want to have some racecraft. You don't want to be leading at this point. So Jesse Stroud, he's leading as they go around the turn 10 sweeper, and the guy that in about 3rd place there, he'll have the best run to the line. As we see them, the lead will change about 3 or 4 times as they come down the big hill in the front straight. And have a look at them. This is a massive little pack of them. As we see, they're just air-cooled 150cc single-cylinder machines, and just great to see these top 2 guys already out flying and trying to break clear. Have a look at this.
Look at that. We've got a leader change, have we? Fanned right out on the track. Don't want to give up too much away. They don't want to get into that draft, but you heard Brad say, look at that pack coming in behind them. That is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th.
So just 8/100ths of a second as they cross the line. So that's probably the tread of the tyre on these bikes, as we see. And just see the Honda Cool medical car there. He had to slow down to come into the pits there. So he's right on the back of these guys. And that's actually Brock Timperley out there. So NZV8's driver rather, and he gets to drive the awesome Honda CR-V medical car. So great to have a world-class driver in the medical team's Honda car. So thanks to Honda Cars, and thanks to Brock for being with us at round 3 Hampton Downs Moto Fest.
Yeah, Brock's done a fair bit. He went into the Australian driver search, drove a V8 supercar in Australia last year. He doesn't know yet if he's going to do the final round of the BNT V8s this season. He's currently lying in 3rd place, but he's only competed in 1 round, so what does that tell you?
He's good.
So Brock doing the driving in the medical car, as you heard Brad say. Doing the driving at the front of this field, though, Jesse Stroud, Zach Fuller and Clark Fountain. Pick a winner, folks, and stay with them and just see what happens.
Yeah, brilliant stuff as they go into Highpool, and just so important. You see them come into the corner and through the corner at the same speed. That's how vital it is. All the corner speed, as you see, Zach Fuller is going to pull up alongside Jesse there as they head into the Porsche dipper, and absolutely brilliant to see these guys as hammer and tongs so far through the Suzuki series. They were tied on points at the end of it, and Jesse even won on the count back at round 1 and 2. So that's how close these two have been so far this summer.
Fuller's in the front by the look of it, just got a great drive coming out of the dipper and went down the inside of Jesse to maybe take the front running. We'll have a look as they come a little bit closer. These two starting to break away just a little bit. You said about the lap record, 2:19.887 for Jesse Stroud. Lap record for the Gixxers is what?
2:15.
2:15.043.
Yeah, so they're a little while for there. We'll see when they cross the line what the sort of pace they've been up to. They've had a bit of a slipstream off one another now. It looks like the 15 of Jesse Stroud back in the lead.
Yeah.
And a 2:15.920, so just
Fastest time, look at that.
less than a second off lap record pace as they have half race distance. They've only done 2 laps and now they've got 2 to go. So Clark Fountain, fastest man on the track. He's in 3rd place, so the 2:15.920. So awesome stuff from the West Coast Warrior all the way down in Greymouth. They come up in the awesome ambulance that his Super Dad's turned into a moto vehicle, and they do a lot of awesome driving and competing all over. Does a lot of laps around the Greymouth go-kart track as well, where he plies his craft, and definitely a wet weather rider to look out for in the future. So loves the rain and got all the skills. Clark found one to look out for in the Gixxer Cup.
And he's just a youngster, isn't he? Because he's missed out on the age category. He couldn't compete at the cemetery circuit. I think that's the 2nd season he hasn't been able
Yeah,
to
I think he missed out by a handful of days this time around. So yeah, just turned 16 years of age. So what awesome talent. I certainly wasn't out at Hampton Downs when I was 16. So that's brilliant stuff from a lot of these young guys out there.
Brad, I've got to tell you, Hampton Downs wasn't here when you were 16, mate.
No, that's,
Sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Where's the swamp?
Yeah, it was here, but yeah, it wasn't quite like this. It was yeah.
All right, back into the racing we go. Jesse Stroud, the points leader, the race leader on the track. We mentioned that Clark Fountain was the fastest. Where was he? He was 3rd. Keep an eye on Clark Fountain.
Head into the Porsche Dipper, and this is where Zach Fuller got the good drive out of last time around, but doesn't seem to have that much of an answer. He's right up on the back wheel. So Jesse Stroud, Zach Fuller and Clark Fountain, that's your top 3. They've broken free, but Shane Miller from the Manor 2, he's in 4th place. Caleb Stroud in there as well, so brother of Jesse's, he's in that top 5 group as well. So this is outstanding as they're going to come around and grab the white flag. It is still Jesse Stroud ahead of Zach Fuller heading up the hill at the moment.
And all of them but one are fanned out behind them from 5th back to 15th nearly. And you'll see them as they freight train their way up the hill here. But this is the battle we concentrate on. Out in the front, Jesse Stroud, son of 9-time New Zealand Superbike champion Andrew, tucked right in behind him, getting as aerodynamic as he possibly can, is Zach Fuller. Then it's Clark Fountain. And have a look at this. Who's going to pick who's going to come 4th? Because I'm not. Because it's anybody's.
Yeah, have a look at that. On the timing screen, 4th place Caleb Stroud come through, and then it's less than a second to 11th. So 6 of them all separated by 0.8 of a second as they cross the line. So absolutely breathtaking stuff. And they've been like that for all race so far. So white flag out, 1 lap to go, and we catch up with our leaders. They're into turn 2, the Foster's Construction right-hand hairpin. Clark Fountain, he's still in 3rd place in a lonely ride, but then look at that little pack there. That is absolutely brilliant to see. 9 of them I've counted in there as they head into Kev's Carousel, so keep an eye on that one. That is absolutely anyone's, that little battle at the moment.
And they're shuffling positions backwards and forwards as they're making their way around this international circuit here at Hampton Downs. If that doesn't teach you racecraft, nothing will. I think the decision might have been made for us already here at the front of the field, because the gaps are certainly starting to open up, and maybe Clark Fountain might have missed the train a little bit. We'll have to wait and see as the leader heads down towards Alan Sutton's Rocket and the higher pull hairpin. And now it's got a little bit closer.
Yeah, definitely nothing in it now. So Zach Fuller, he'll know just to hang on the back wheel there. See, look, Jesse just run a little bit wide and just open the door, see if Zach wants to lead them into the wind. But here they go. They're out of there and headed into Porsche. There's nothing in it at the moment. So this is where Zach got a good drive last time. He goes a little bit wider to get a bit more drive coming onto the short chute, and definitely look at him get right up on the back wheel of Jesse. So it is Jesse by Zach in their 2nd place. So there's nothing in it. And Jesse just has a little look behind and sees Zach right there. So there's a bit of tactics involved as Jesse hit the brakes a little bit early and try and upset the drive coming out of the sweeper. He'll sweep round there. Goes a little bit wide and leaves the front door open. So Zach Fuller, this is going to be a big drag race to the line. Jesse looks like he's got a pretty good drive out of there. So Zach's tucked in behind, so the slipstream's on here.
It's going to be on here. Is it going to be Fuller? Is it going to be Stroud? It's Jesse Stroud as they head up the hill, but Fuller using all the advantages of the draft. Is he going to be able to pull out?
Oh, there's 3 of them, 3 wide.
Fountains there as well. Have a look at the finish here. It's a photo finish at Hampton Hampton Downs. What an amazing finish. That's the closest we have seen all weekend here at the Motorfest. I said it was something special, folks. The Gixxer Cup, man, these guys are the stars of tomorrow. There is 8 1,000ths of a second and just a little bit less than that between the front three. Absolutely nothing in that. That was brilliant. If that was a horse racing meeting with the siren would have gone, there'd been an inquiry now.
Exactly.
That was the photo finish to end all photo finishes.
And then now,
That was its feature as well.
yeah, Zach, definitely, we saw it on out the commentary box window. Definitely, Zach Fuller on the inside there. He got the race win there. Curtis Boyd ended up getting the fastest lap of the race, a 2:15.111. He ended up winning that race to fourth place. So fourth, Curtis Boyd. Luca Durning, great ride there. Fifth place. Caleb Stroud ended up sixth. Cameron Goldfinch seventh. Shane Miller, who was running fourth for much of that, ends up back in eighth. Liam Whelans and Caleb Gilmore, the top 10 there. So, absolutely brilliant racing. And Zach Fuller, your Gixxer 150 race one winner here at Motorfest, and that was absolutely brilliant, Phil Dark. What an awesome introduction to New Zealand road racing that is for these youngsters.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, if you wanted an excuse to come back for tomorrow, I can tell you there's 2 more of the Gixxer Cup races to look forward to tomorrow. What a finish. How did Clark Fountain make up all that distance? Because I thought he was dead and buried. I thought he was gone. He didn't have Snowball's hope.
Absolutely.
And he was right there.
Half a lap to go, he was well back.
Absolutely.
He was, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then just bided his time and got up on that 3-way slipstream. They were literally, their front wheels all touched that finish line at the same time. That's how close it was. Just 1/100th of a second separating the top 3 riders, and that is less than a front wheel in 150 racing. So that is breathtaking stuff. And we still have 2 motos to go here at Hampton Downs Moto Fest on your Saturday. We have the 250.